John Olivia here, your host of Serious and Silliness Outcast and Serious and Silliness Bodybuilding. We have a great new sponsor, Jersey Alternative Medicine, Anti-Aging and Hormone Replacement Clinic. Just go to the website, njaltmeds.com. That's njaltmeds.com. Or you give them a call at 609-977-2981. So what do? They actually offer a variety of services like TRT replacement, medical weight loss, female sexual health, male sexual health, injectable peptides, anti-aging treatment. And this is all under the eyes of an actual physician. You fill out an intake form. You go over symptoms with a clinician, and they will customize medication that you could take. And the best part is it's prescribed by a physician, and it is delivered to your doorstep in all 50 states. You don't even have to leave the comfort of your home. That is njaltmeds.com, 609-977-2981. Go to Jersey Alternative Medicine now and get healthy. All right, now we're live. Oh yeah, right. This is Serious and Silliness Bodybuilding. I gotta get you.
Very serious and very silly.
Yeah. I gotta get you one of these shirts. I just cut the sleeves off this one, but this is the shirt I was telling you about. So
Hey, oh, they look nice.
you're an extra large. Bo's a 3X. Dorian's a 3X. I gotta get Luke. I think he's a 2X, but I'm not 100% sure. And Beer League Warriors Apparel. Go to Instagram, Beer League Warriors Apparel. Support small business. Great workout clothes. Good quality. Good prices. Just do it. All right. So it's for that one. Anyway, I had an awesome weekend, bro. Like absolutely loved commentating on the Olympia.
The
You
Olympia?
know, I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I think it was fun.
Yeah, I got a friend who has a smaller channel, EP09. Um, and he did it himself on his own channel, which is what I'm going to do next week.
Right.
Next year, sorry. And he got 1,000 subscribers just by doing the live stream himself.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do next year. I'm going to do it myself next year. And then I'm
Right.
going to see it. I'm going to see if I could have like, remember the Jerry Lewis telethon when we were kids and they had surprise guests come in all the time? Like
Yeah.
you didn't know who was going to come on. And
Right.
that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to invite everybody on at like various times and see if you could
Let's see
jump
who
in.
shows up. Just bang
Yeah.
them on.
Yeah. So you don't know who's going to come on. My God, it's a big surprise.
Right.
If I shall show my age, I don't remember what year it was. I had to be in the single digits age. I don't remember, but when when Frank Sinatra came on, and Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin haven't talked for 20 years,
Oh, shit.
and then Frank Sinatra brought Dean Martin on. For those of you who don't know what happened, I know this isn't we're talking. I know we're not talking bodybuilding. Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin were a comedy duo. They were really, really funny. That's how they got started. They were a comedy duo, and they would do nightclubs. Then they started making movies and started making a lot of money. And for no reason, well, not for no reason, Dean Martin just didn't want to do it anymore. He didn't want to do comedy anymore. He wanted to sing and he wanted to be like a Sinatra kind of dude. And they split. Dean Martin just left without telling Jerry Lewis, broke the contract and everything. And they didn't speak for 20 years. Jerry Lewis kept doing comedy. Dean Martin sang and did some serious movies and went on with Frank Sinatra and the Rat Pack, right? So there was a show every year on what is it? It was Labor Day, right?
He had every year and it was to raise money for, for kids who had disabilities,
Yeah, it was one
uh,
specific one.
cerebral palsy
That's
and
right. Yeah.
dystrophy.
Muscular dystrophy. That's right. It was
Right.
muscular dystrophy. And so they didn't speak for 20 years. And then what happened was Frank Sinatra, who was like, the king of Hollywood at that point, decided that they had enough time not speaking. And he just came on the show and brought Dean Martin out. And they haven't spoken 20 years. And it was like a big deal. Everybody was talking about it, like, holy shit. Well, that's what's going to happen next year on my channel. You're not going to know who's going to fucking. We might have King Kamali and Craig Titus come on and actually fucking make up. Like, I'm just saying, crazy
That
shit
ain't
has
gonna happen.
happened. I know, but
What's up, Luke?
Hey,
big,
what's up?
big Luke, you look like a monster sitting there in that t-shirt, bro. Did you see us, Luke? Did you see us on RX Muscle, bro?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. You guys did a great job.
I'm telling you, man. I'm gonna be famous, and I'm dragging your ass with me. So just hold on.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. The Muscle Talk crew is coming with me. Might take some time, but and here's another thing, and Jay could attest to this actually. Apparently, the more popular I get on YouTube, the more that people tell me things about myself that I didn't know. People in the comment section.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's a good
apparently,
thing. That's a good thing, God. Yeah.
yeah, it is unbelievable.
At least, yeah, they notice you, so that's a good
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Jay is a punk bitch cheap bastard. We didn't know that.
Punk ass bitch.
Oh, wow. Wow, dang. Somebody said that?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. What's
Oh,
up,
dude, what's up,
Dorian?
Dorian? What's
Hey,
up, Dave?
happening?
So, what's up,
Yeah.
Dorian?
Yeah. So we
Yeah,
didn't know.
so
Good.
I'll so when we did the live, podcast for RX, I was in Virginia, so I had to do it for my phone. I had no computer, so I was not able to watch or order the live stream of the Olympia. So I was just going off of what they were telling me. And I didn't tell anybody why. They were just, I'm like, I can't see it. I don't have the live stream. I get a message from some girl from Lithuania saying you can't afford the live stream, you punk bitch ass pussy or some shit.
Wow.
Yeah, they take their commentating serious in Lithuania.
Yeah, they were fucking around. I was like,
Unbelievable.
holy shit.
Yeah, Dorian, you had to see the comments I was getting. Apparently, first of all, I didn't realize this, but I didn't know what I was talking about, according to them. They just invited me on RX Muscle for my looks, I guess, because
Personality.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about bodybuilding. That's number one. The other thing is I am annoying, and they had to shut it off because of me. They can't sit. They couldn't sit. There was another one saying that I was the ultimate asshole. The ultimate asshole. It's like that when Entenmann's came out with the crumb cake, the ultimate
Yeah.
crumb cake. Yeah, that's me. I'm the ultimate asshole. Oh, and my wife apparently is not faithful to me.
Oh, wow.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, somebody actually said that.
Wow.
Holy shit, dude. Really?
It's just
Yeah,
like
they're going for the jugular
Well,
over
first
there.
of all,
dude.
I'm sorry to hear that, John. I'm sorry you have to find out that way. But dude, at least you found out. Now you can move on.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't know anything about bodybuilding, so get back in the sewer, Luigi. That's what he told me.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Shit. It's all there. I don't know how like Armand and King Kamali say they don't read the comments, but it's hilarious. I mean, I read it's hysterical. I'll be honest with you, some of them are really nasty, especially toward Armand. Like,
Oh, really? I
yeah.
didn't read any of them. The one
Um,
I got was they messaged
Armand
me privately.
Armand has had used to have a bad drug problem with pills and so on and so forth. Typical in the early 2000s, right? When they had what was it that everybody was on in the early 2000s?
New thing?
Ben,
No, not Nubain. No, the pills.
oh,
Oxy.
Oxy, right? Oxy.
Oxycontin.
So he went through that whole thing and blah blah. Yeah, well, not for nothing. Like
Yeah,
people
people
are
give him a hard time. They give him a hard time. I'm
bad,
like, why are they
bad.
giving him such a hard time? And he's a nice. He seems like a very nice guy.
He was
From
fine,
what I've seen.
and he knows what he's talking about bodybuilding. Like he's not. It's not like he does. And he's clean and sober, obviously, because anybody who wasn't couldn't be on a live stream for 4 hours, stay on time, stay awake, be alert. He's obviously fine. There were people, I swear to God, they weren't even referring to him as Armand. They were referring to him as Junkie.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. And I'm like,
That's
whoa, like,
crazy.
this is bad,
That's
bro.
crazy.
This is like, because, being the first time I was on RX Muscle like that, I was excited. So I was going through the comments and I'm like, these people are fucked up. Like, seriously. But whatever. Doesn't matter because we were on RX Muscle and they were dicking around. Anyway, all right. Dorian, what'd you think about the Olympia overall, man?
Yeah, well, I watched every single round. And I pretty much narrowed it down to Hottie, Derek, and Samson.
Yeah.
Then by finals, I'm like, it's between Derek and Hottie, or excuse me, between Hottie and Samson.
Right.
And right before they called who the winner was, I'm like, Samson got it. So I think it was judged very fairly. And congratulations to Samson on being the new Mr. Olympia.
Yeah, I thought it was judged fairly too. Luke, kid, what do you think?
Yeah, it was judged fairly. I had in the like I had this for weeks ago, couple weeks before the show that it was going to be between Hottie and Samson.
Mm-hmm.
And because I said if Hottie doesn't win, Samson is going to win. That was what I knew, and there was a reason why. But to me, not like Derek Lunsford is a great person. Nothing, negative about him. But to me, I felt that um all those all the open competitors, they had to win a show. They had to fight to win a show.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a guest and then he won.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He was the
Well,
212 champ.
You
And then he
don't
got a
know,
special invite.
you don't know, you really don't know what it takes to actually go up against them, against the open class. You
Right.
never had to. Same thing happened with Big Ramy. That's why he didn't know how to hold on to it. He got
Okay.
invited. He got invited, and then it was easily taken away because
Yeah.
we thought once he won, it was like, oh God, this guy's going to keep on winning.
Didn't Derek do an open show after he won the 212?
No, he didn't. It was a
No,
special
he never.
invite.
He got an invite.
I know he got. I thought he did. So he just
No.
went right
He
into.
showed up to the
Yeah.
Pittsburgh Pro. That was
Dude, he
it.
was 250 pounds as a Pittsburgh pro. And
Yeah.
That was it.
yeah. You
Yeah,
know,
like
there's some
I said,
there's that
it's nothing
Yeah.
against them. It's not, but it's a different feeling when you have to like fight and scratch to get up there.
yeah.
Is you don't know what it takes to have to qualify for a show. Some of these guys had to do shows upon shows upon shows to qualify for it. Because
Yeah, you know what?
that's a significant drop from being Mr. Olympia to third. That's a
Big
significant
time.
drop.
Oh,
So
Ramy went from first to what? Fifth or sixth?
yeah,
That was
yeah.
yeah. You know, the days of like when Jay was doing the Olympia, the days of knocking the champ out and is over. Okay. If you come slipping and somebody else is better, that's it. They're
Yeah.
knocking you. You're out. It's not.
Yeah, I thought they knocked him out. I mean,
Yeah, me too. Me
Yeah.
too.
yeah.
But
So no,
when
I
up,
I don't know if that term should go away, but I think the weird thing is there was a significant difference in his legs.
Mhm.
yes, yes, big
From
time.
land, like yeah, and I get the big Ramy thing because he had factors, dude. He looked like he had nerve damage, and he had those
Right.
holes in his quads.
Oh
They were,
yes.
so it
Yeah.
wasn't like
That is true. Yeah,
he
you're
was
right.
lucky to get fifth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that was a gift giving him fifth because he's a former Olympian. You know what I mean? Olympia
Right.
would,
Yeah.
with Derek to see such a young guy who
Yeah.
hasn't competed in a year, he had the whole year off, for him to miss his mark. That's significant because that should not happen. You
Mhm.
know, so something went wrong, or he just is not holding his, it'll be interesting to see what happens this year with him. Um, but he was significantly off from his last year's look.
Yeah.
So
And you're
I
right.
think I think
You're
Samson
absolutely
hit it
right.
out of the park, dude.
Oh
I
yeah.
think Samson is going to hold on to this for a while.
Yeah, the
Um,
only person that can beat him is Andrew Jack. If he
Andrew Jack is not going to beat him. I'm
I don't
sorry.
think so
I'm
either.
sorry, Luke.
no, oh, I know he's not going to beat him anytime soon, but I said the only person that can actually come and take it from him would be
I don't.
Andrew Jack.
So we talked about this on RX that night. I don't know if you heard this part, but King asked me, you know, what would Steve Weinberger say to Andrew Jacked the next day? Like, how do you tell this guy
That's right.
who were priming him, hey, dude, you could be the next Olympia, and now you're telling him he was in fifth place? And the best explanation I could give, and the most honest explanation I could give, was like a Flex Wheeler, dude. Like, as good as you are, you're never going to beat Ronnie. There's just a couple
Yeah.
guys you're in the wrong time. If this was a
Yeah.
different time, but dude, Andrew will always have a physique that is not as good or not competes with Samson, just because Samson is filled out more in his frame, where Andrew Jack really needs to fill that frame out, and some of his the length of his arms and the length of his legs and the length of his ankle to his knee, like that needs to be bigger, and the muscle bellies need to be fuller, and there's just a lot missing when you put him next to one of those top guys. And I really think that Martin Fitzwater is going to be gunning for that number 2 spot
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
next year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's going to be a
Absolutely.
Samson and Martin run for the next few years, I believe.
Yeah. I think
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Very
The only
impressive.
thing is I don't know how long Samson's going to be able to hold on to it. I think if anybody is going to at least repeat, it will be him because he seems like the most complete bodybuilder. But he is older. He's not a young guy for bodybuilding's sake, right? Not for And man, if you're slipping this much and someone else is better,
How old is he?
I think he's in his probably late 30s at this point.
40.
He's 40.
Oh, he is 40. He
Yeah.
might be able to get another two out of it.
Speaking of Samson, I want to bring this. I want to bring this up because there is a component to this discussion that people are talking about that people are completely forgetting, and I don't understand how. People are saying that Samson needs to give Milos his props for bringing him to where he has been, and let's face it, Milos did take him from a second tier bodybuilder to a first tier bodybuilder. There's no question about it. But before I give my reason why I don't think he should give him his props, which you guys might have heard it because I said it on Anabolic Academy, what's your opinion on that? Because that's a lot of people have been saying that. It's been floating around.
I think it depends on their relationship. It depends on how they left each other, because I know, from speaking from experience, the first trainer that I was training with, uh, after COVID happened, he went to another gym, and I told him, I said, for me to get to that gym, it's a big inconvenience. I'm having car trouble. I'm going to stay at Diamond. My body. You still going to do my nutrition, and my trainer now, Greg, he's gonna do my he's gonna train me. And he said, okay. He looked me in my eyes and said, okay. I told him in person. I didn't want to text him. I didn't want to call him over the phone. I went to him in person and told him. He said, okay. And then during the prep, as I was making progress, I sent him pictures and said, what do you think, brother? And he sent me a message that was crazy back, like, why don't you ask your trainer how to do it?
My God.
And I was like, what the fuck? Where did this come from? And after that, I never mentioned his name. I never, even though he's the one that started me and got me to the point that I said, because of that, no one would know his name. No one would know his name.
I don't understand that at all. I mean,
that's why I understand what Samson might. They might have went through a nasty exchange that we didn't even see.
Well,
and so Samson's like, fuck it, I'm not even going to give him any props, or I'm not going to mention his name or anything.
Men who are catty like that, I don't get. I don't get men who are catty like that. You did the right thing. You told them exactly what it is. I mean, you get to a certain age where things change, friends fall in and out, clients fall in and out, business falls in and out. You get to a certain age where it's like, it shouldn't bother you. But when men are catty, it's like, dude, what are you? You're acting like a bitch. That fucking bothers me. Anyway, Jake, go ahead. Chime in on it, because there's one thing that I think everybody is missing as to why I don't think he should give him his props. But good.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but I kind of remember him thanking him when they parted ways. Hey, thanks for bringing me up this far.
Yes.
But I'm going to go in a different direction now.
Yeah, when they parted ways.
So he did. right?
But
now
people
that
were
he's
saying
had this, but now that he's had this success after,
right.
why does he have to go back and revisit that? So no, I don't agree
All right.
that he needs to give him his props. He already did. And now
There's
since then,
good.
he's prospered. He's done well. He's won the Arnold and now the Olympia
Yeah.
and seems to be getting better. That's why, like when you say he's a little older, dude, it's not like he's peaked. Like
No. He's still
he's getting
got
better every
yeah.
show, you know, which is
Yeah.
what you want to see. So with that
He-
being said, he paid his due respect. Um, he should thank his wife.
yeah, I agree. But I just don't think people this is registering with people. Once I tell you, both of you guys will agree with me. You don't talk about a man's wife.
No,
Period.
yeah, that's off limits. That's
You
off.
don't go on.
What am I missing?
Milos was on Dennis James's
Yeah,
podcast
I heard that. I heard it myself.
talking shit about Samson's wife. Now I
Oh,
know it's his train. I know
I
it's
didn't
his
know that.
trainer, but it is his wife saying that she doesn't know what she's doing. They're just following my protocol. Now she's all of a sudden she's a trainer, dude. That's a cardinal sin. You do not talk about a man's wife. He honestly,
Just
he's
left that out.
lucky. He's lucky that Samson just doesn't talk to him anymore. That's like honestly, you talk shit about my wife in public on a podcast where everybody in the community is going to listen to, right? Yeah, it might be more than me not talking to you. Seriously, because you don't. That's a cardinal sin. You do not talk about people's family, not talk to people's wives. And I think everybody is forgetting that. They're kind of looking at
Yeah,
his wife like it's his
that's
trainer.
true.
This is his wife, and that's
Yeah,
off limits.
wife and
Um,
kids are off limits.
yeah,
Wife and
and
kids are off limits.
I think people are just forgetting that. I don't understand how you could just forget that. You know what I mean? And not to mention, her actions at the Olympia showed she is a classy lady. First of all,
Mhm.
she not even her actions at the Olympia. She never fired back at Milos after saying that. She never went on a podcast. She never went on Instagram. She never said nothing. She just proved it in her actions. Samson won. The other thing was when Samson called her out to the stage, right? Because what's his name? Who's the guy that does the MC?
Bob
Bob
Chickarello.
Chickarello. And Bob Chickarello said, "Hey, turns out your wife really is a good trainer." Samson calls his wife out, right?
Oh,
She, yeah, she kisses him. She kisses him. She hugs him. She holds up the trophy. She puts the trophy down and she leaves. And she left because she knows that's her husband's moment.
Yeah,
She didn't steal that moment. She called out. And you could tell from those two things that woman is a classy lady. That is the wife that's a woman that most women should aspire to be, right? And nobody says these things. Nobody says that they talked about his wife and so on and so forth. And like I said, not give him acknowledgement. He shouldn't. I would never speak to the guy again. I mean, really, I don't get it. You know what's going on back there, Ons? You got a party happening?
Kids are home from soccer. My wife had to it's her night to carpool tonight, so she's home with the youngest one.
Ah, how are they doing at soccer?
They're doing good.
Yeah,
Yeah, Jaden had a game yesterday and scored 3 goals and
damn, isn't that a
nice.
lot for soccer?
Yeah,
yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good. And Sammy had the her first round of the Shore Cup tournament, Shore Cup finals, and they beat the number 6 seeded team and advanced and knocked them out of the bracket. And Sammy scored the goal, and
Really?
they won in double overtime with the penalty kicks, and we won 5-4 in penalty kicks.
Oh
Is
wow.
Sammy the younger one or the older one?
Oldest.
The
She's
oldest
a junior
one.
in high school. Yeah.
Wow, holy
But
shit!
they're doing well. They play for top teams and in the state and ranked in the country, and they're doing pretty good.
Well, I mean, they got genetics between you and your wife. I mean, you're both athletes, so right.
Yeah, they're filling they're filling the shoes. And
That
then
was
some.
that was like me. My parents wanted me to get away from the genetics. So like my whole family are blue collar. My grandfather, my father, my brothers, they're all electricians. My whole family's tradesmen. I got uncles that are painters, typical Italian. And they wanted me to go to college and like be a white collar guy, go be a lawyer, go work on Wall Street. And I tried that and that didn't work for me. And the minute I started working in as an electrician's apprentice, I immediately knew like this is where I belonged. Like the day of, and I was like, why did they do that to me?
Right.
What the fuck?
It was intentional.
Work with what you got. Jesus. Anyway,
Excuse me.
so the Arnold should definitely be interesting. Oh, here's what I wanted to say. Okay. Um, Hottie back. It really, for some reason, there was no pop to it. It was thick, but there was no detail. It looked flat, and that was pretty much probably why he lost. From the front, he looked amazing. Is at his age, well, I think he's around close to 40, late 30s, early 40s, something like that. Is there anything he can do to bring that back? Is that a thing? Is that a symptom of over dieting, or do you think there is something he could do to bring that back?
Well, so it's tough to judge, with one show because things could go wrong. Your body doesn't respond. It doesn't mean you're past your prime, right?
Mhm.
There's no way Derek is past his prime. So he
Right.
either over,
Mhm.
excuse me. So he either over dieted, took too many diuretics, didn't drink enough, didn't take enough sodium. Something happened for him to lose his legs the way he did, So we'll know in the next show if this is something, a pattern that continues, and all right, something's his body isn't holding on, like he's starting to go the other way, and that's when you start really getting an idea of what direction somebody's physique is going in. But it's tough to base off one show because he could rebound and do a show in 2 weeks, like people used to do at the Grand Prix, and look even better than he did at the Olympia. But and just like we've talked about in the past, like the Olympia puts an enormous amount of stress on every athlete that's there, dude. It's the
Hmm.
highest honor. It's the biggest show in the world, and nothing ever goes perfectly. And as good as Samson looked, I'm sure in his mind there was something that didn't fill out right. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knows, oh, this looked better the other day, or this looked better this morning.
Right. Right.
Not,
Right.
but as good as every champion always looks, they always feel something could have been better, or it might have looked better at a different time.
Okay.
Part of the game.
Um, Biggest disappointment in the lineup. What do you guys think?
Luke, you want to go?
Yeah. What do you think?
The biggest disappointment, I was expecting Hunter Labrada to. I was expecting him to be like in the
Uh,
top
Top
five.
five.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
It
was,
was probably the best
but
Hunter we.
he did look good.
Yeah.
He looked good.
We've talked about this before, but it was probably the best Hunter we've seen. But I think Hunter just has reached his genetic potential.
Mm.
Because from the back he looked great. For Hunter, still not as good as Hottie, Derek, or Samson. But or Martin,
Yeah,
Right.
or
Now there's
Martin.
more. Now there's Martin.
Now there's Martin, right? He's a factor. And at this point, at his age, and now he's not he's been in the game a while now. This isn't well. At this point, you either do something drastically different, like change trainers, or accept the fact that this is your limitation. I don't, I don't know. What do you think, Jay?
So, I mean, in terms of Hunter, I think it's the best Hunter. I was happy he took six. It was good to see
It was a
he
tough
made
lineup.
progress. It was
It
a
was a
tough
tough
lineup. It
lineup.
was it was really good to see that Hunter made progress, right?
Hmm.
I'm always hard on him. Um, let him continue to do that, and he could creep his way up the rankings a little bit. He'll have to
Hmm.
battle this out with Martin, or maybe even if he dries out even more, try to get in that top three spot. Not to keep, haunting on this, but I think the biggest disappointment was not seeing Nick up there. Like
Mm.
I
Very,
really,
yeah.
dude, he's just such a good guy, dude, and he's a good representative for the sport. And he's a freak, dude, and he's got his following, and he would have added a different element, to the lineup. And I don't know where he would have placed. It would have been probably tougher for him to place in the top three. Um, and maybe he might not even have beaten Martin this time, or he might have. Maybe Nick would have done something better from his New York Pro performance, and maybe he would have came in sharper and keep the waist tight or something, and his legs filled out, and he could have jumped up a couple spots. We don't know.
Right.
But to see a guy who's been battling it out for the past couple of years, and you want to see him in that, it was a good lineup, dude, and you want to see
Fucking tough
everybody at their
lineup.
best. So I think just knowing there's another guy out there that wasn't in the mix, I think that was the biggest disappointment for me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know what? I take that back, guys. It was Andrew Jack that was big disappointment for me. But
Really?
I forget because I just watched the interview with Psycho Lewis and he explained why today. I just saw the interview today on Muscle Discord that he explained why it happened because him and Aceto had a disagreement
Oh,
on
Jesus.
Andrew's thing or Andrew's diet and his prep.
Well, what's the
What do you say?
disagreement?
Somebody wanted him to fill out to put more weight on, and the other guy didn't think that he needed to put more weight
You see,
on.
this is the problem.
And he
This is the
admitted to it. He said it himself. He said Chris Cycle said, if I was Andrew, I'd fire both of us.
But here's the problem. Guys step outside their comfort zone. Psycho Lewis is the guy in the gym. If you're hired to be the guy in the gym, be the guy in the gym. Cito does his nutrition. Understand that is the game plan. Stop crossing the line. I guarantee you, Cito didn't fucking go into the gym and tell Psycho what to do, right? I don't understand these guys. Like clearly, Psycho is the guy you want in the gym that's gonna push you till you to the next level, and you're gonna argue with Aceto's fucking track record. Really, really. It just doesn't make any sense to me with these guys. It's like, stop being so fucking catty. Know your place. You were hired to do a job. Just shut up and fucking do it. I don't know. I don't get it. Bodybuilding is like, anyway, the biggest appointment for me, Rafael Brandao. I don't know what the fuck happened to him. He looked like complete trash from the back. Nothing was popping. He was flat as a board. He had no fucking no detail whatsoever from the back at all. And he looked small compared to the guys on that stage. And for me, I think eighth place was a fucking gift.
Wow, yeah.
He turned around in the finals and nothing. There was nothing. Like zero. It was nothing. And I'm like, there's no striations, there's no detail, there's no nothing. And they had him over Brandon and they had him over Akeem. And I'm like,
Yeah, I was shocked about that. I said, oh wow.
Akeem looked
really?
good.
What?
Yeah,
Akeem looked good.
Akeem looked good. I would have had him higher. Clearly
Yeah.
better than Brandao. Jesus Christ. I don't know. Okay. So what do you do if you're Brandon at this point? Do you just say,
That's enough.
yeah, I would go out on a high note. I mean, you still broke the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
You're an Arnold Classic winner. You're an Olympia champion.
He said it himself that he's gonna spend time with his family now.
I don't blame him, man. When guys like Ramy or Brandon, formerly Dexter, they got nothing. They got nothing to be ashamed. These are they have reached levels 1% of the 1% of the population could ever dream of reaching. I understand that you're a competitive athlete, and we talked about this on RX. I asked King and I asked Jay, when you're at that level, what is it like when you finally reach the point where you're like, I just can't do it anymore? What mentally goes through your head, and how do you adjust? Because it's gotta be it has to be. Like your whole life revolves around being a champion bodybuilder, and then you get over the hill, and you got to come to terms with the fact that either I'm going to keep doing this and keep dropping in placings, and people are going to beat me who shouldn't have never beat me in my prime, or you ride off into the sunset and you put your energy into something different, And I think that goes with a lot of athletes. I think that's what Brandon is probably battling with right now. It's not easy. The other thing is, John De La Rosa and Akeem Williams. I put them in the same situation. They're not over the hill. Both of them look great, but clearly you're not going to be able to break into the upper echelon, the elite. So where do you go from here? I had Ian Hedek on Monday night, and he said, just be the king of the small shows. Well, go.
Yeah, it's actually it's exactly what I was going to say.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you could do well on the smaller shows, win some prize money, promote yourself, market yourself, make some money that way. There's going to be guys, just like in the NFL, dude. There's one Super Bowl winner. It doesn't mean everybody else should bow out.
Right.
Hey, you could make it to the playoffs. Hopefully, make it. You qualify. Just get there.
Right.
Just get there. You know what I mean? I think just getting there is an accomplishment.
Yeah.
And then and everybody has to realize, like everybody has their, their place more or less, where this is where I'm going to be,
Hmm.
like in terms of Andrew, like, dude, unless Samson and Hottie and Derek just don't show up, he's he's not going to beat them right now.
Right.
If their time moves on and he might be next in line after that group goes, just like Cutler had to wait for Ronnie to retire, like
Right. 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 Right.
and Phil Heath had to wait for Jay to reach, finish his prime, and then he took over.
Right.
So it's just how it is.
It's a cycle. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
cycle.
and look, Flex Wheeler never won, Sean Ray never won, Kevin LeBron never won. Didn't
Yeah.
stop them from winning the
Yeah.
Arnold and doing all the other shit.
Right. Good point. Great point. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The one guy I want to talk about because I don't know him, but I know that he is a very hard worker, and this guy has scratched and clawed his way to the top. Is John Jewett? He came in 11th, and that is amazing for him because you're talking about a guy who was a 212 athlete, moved up to the Open, doesn't have the prettiest physique, but he kills himself in the gym and he comes in diced every time because that's his go-to. That's how he can possibly win. He knows that he's not going to be the biggest guy on stage. He knows that he's not doesn't have the prettiest physique, but he has put on real good muscle. He comes in as balanced and as conditioned as he possibly can. He finally won an open show and he gets to the 11th place. And to me, that's saying a lot more than the God-given gifted bodybuilder, like let's say a Keon, who you will look at and it's just like, yeah, there you go. There's this Mr. Olympia. Where somebody like John Jewett just keeps fighting it, keeps pushing it, keeps fighting it, keeps fighting, and he finally gets to the dance, and he comes in 11th, and nobody's talking to him. But it is a how can I say this? It is a well-deserved 11th. It is a proud 11th, if that makes sense. What do you think, Luke?
Oh yeah, yeah. For his first, that's his first Olympia.
Yeah, he only won one pro show. Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's an accomplishment. He beat
yeah,
out he beat out a lot of people that were there before him.
right. Yeah, and
That's
too
accomplishment.
too many people don't give that lower echelon guys in the Olympia that much credit. After him, you had John De La Rosa came in 12th, Bruno came in 13th, Mofuda, who again was probably a disappointment, but he's a young guy. I think he just missed his mark personally. And Theo Laguerria came in 15th. Theo Laguerria is kind of similar to a John Jewett, but John Jewett is um, the epitome of that because he came from 212, and it took him a couple of years before he actually got into his own as an open bodybuilder. Um, think about how mentally strong you have to be. You go from 212. I don't think he's ever won a 212 show, if I'm right. And he jumps up to open, and then he decides, I'm just going to keep grinding in the open. I'm just going to keep grinding. I'm going to keep grinding. I'm going to keep grinding. And he does it one year, doesn't do well. Does it a second year, and he's kind of breaking the top five. And then finally, he wins a show with a weak lineup, and then he goes to Olympia, and he's that close to breaking the top 10. That close. To me, that's an accomplishment. What do you think, Jay?
I mean, there's got like Milos too. Like he was always a top 10 guy. I think he made it place six, maybe one of his best showings.
Yeah,
But dude, you could build a following and you could build a business and you could set yourself apart, from other athletes and just being a consecutive guy, making that top 10 and maybe winning some smaller shows. You got to remember, dude, these smaller shows, they draw attention. People go to them. And some of the guys that they're not going to be a top Olympia guy, but people are going to come to see it, the smaller show, because they make it fun. They make it fun to watch,
mm,
and you have your following at the Olympia, and it's a good way to make a business out of this. At the end of the day, you're still an IFBB pro. You're still on the biggest stage. There's only one guy that wins, dude. At the end of the day,
yeah,
second, third, fourth, there's only one guy that wins, so being in that lineup and being able to say that you made it to that level, that says a lot.
yeah. I agree. Um, all right, Derek. Derek was a broken man Saturday night. I don't know if you watched any of the interviews,
Yeah,
but
dude. Yeah.
he didn't know which way was up. I
Uh,
felt bad for him.
Well, his
Um,
face on stage, like when they announced him third, dude,
oh,
it
he
looked
could,
like his life ended.
yeah, he could barely hold it together. You give him a couple of weeks, he'll bounce back. He'll realize he's, in his early 30s, and he'll be back on stage. But the emotional roller coaster, that he was almost on tears when he was interviewing with Doherty there, the guy from NPC Online,
Yeah.
NPC News Online. It was I really felt
That
bad
guy,
for
that guy was asking some tough questions at that time.
him. Yeah,
I
yeah,
said,
like
man,
yeah,
he like asked him how he found it. I said, he can't hear it in his voice. I mean, damn.
yeah. This motherfucker's on suicide watch. Which
Yeah.
huge. Yeah, exactly. Unbelievable. Where do you go from here? If you're Derek, where do you go from here?
Go
Do you
back.
do a smaller show, or do you try to do the
So,
Honor Classic, or do you just get ready for next year?
well, based upon his comment, that one comment, I think we talked about it, John, right?
Maybe good.
Um, it's hard to say. I think somebody put up a post because, he had said, if God didn't want this for him, then he doesn't want it, you know? Um, and they were questioning, does that mean he's leaving? Like, what does that mean? And I get it, dude. He's emotional. He's up and down.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yes, and I'm sure it is. But that's a unique mindset to have, because um not to get into that, but if you're basing the future of your competition career based upon what you think God wants for you, then I don't know if he's continuing,
Right.
right?
Right. 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 Right.
From an athlete point of view, what he needs to do is he needs to figure out what went wrong and he needs to gun down and try to win it back next year because he could.
Yeah.
He could. He's got to
Absolutely.
overcome a couple obstacles and a little emotional distress. Um, but he's young enough to get better. But I think he's going to fall into that place where, dude, if you're trying to get too big and you're too short,
Right.
so where Samson, dude, he just flows better because his
Yeah.
height, as much muscle as he has the length to carry it, and it just flows better. He doesn't look boxy or squatty, right?
Right.
So Derek could make a few adjustments. He should come and fucking win the Arnold or fight for the Arnold, and take it from there. He's got the invite back, placing third, right? Top
Yeah,
six re-qualifying, I
he
think.
won the well for the Olympia. No, he won one.
Oh,
So
he won, so he already gets
yeah.
the invite. That's
But yeah,
right.
no, it's top three now. It's not top five anymore.
Okay, well, so he's qualified with third anyway.
I
But
don't want to. I don't want to get into. I'm not a religious person. I want to get into religion, and I know, and I just want to say this, and I want to move on. And Derek will realize this because Derek is a devout Christian. Derek will realize this once his emotions calm down, which they probably already have because it's some days. If you, all right, how can I say this? If you figuratively are chosen by God as He believes He is, then God doesn't make it easy for you. He always puts dilemmas in your way to see how you deal with it. That's the way it goes. That's just the way it is. Any person that you read about in the Bible or any of the holy texts, there are hurdles to jump over for God. I just want to say that. That's it. And we'll move on because I don't want to get into
well put. Well put.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, um, what the hell was I gonna say? All right. I got to talk about this because I fucking love it. Luke, have you been watching The Penguin?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude,
I always wait for them shows to finish so I can sit there and
bro,
watch
you
everything.
gotta. It's fucking
Well, I didn't
great.
see the third one yet. I got to watch the
Oh,
third one.
really? You didn't,
Yeah.
dude? It's the best one yet,
Dude, I was away and I had shit all week. I haven't had a chance to do anything.
bro.
It's
It is
still,
the
it's still in the, this is the
I
first
got to
season.
record it. I got to record it. I'm
first
going to watch
season.
it.
It
If
is
not tonight, tomorrow.
fun. They do it.
Okay, so this is I'll catch up and watch the first two. And
I won't tell you. I won't tell you what happens, but it's like, all right. The people that put together that show, whoever they are on HBO, really know DC Comics well.
Oh, it's the DC guy. It's Snyder.
And oh, is it
oh,
really?
Yeah.
okay. Oh, yeah.
And
Well,
they
then I
make
gotta
it.
watch.
They humanize it. It's not like superhero crap. for kids. They humanize it, and it's for adults, and they do it. The casting, the setting, the storyline is done so well, man,
Yeah.
so well. The wait till you see, I'm not gonna give it up to you. Wait till you see the girl that plays the daughter of the mafiosa, dude. She steals the whole fucking show this episode, bro.
Well, dude, I left off where he leaves her,
Oh, she
after
steal.
after season 2.
Yeah, yeah. She steals the whole fucking show when you go. And
She's a
then
badass, dude.
what happens is somebody I will because beforehand I said to myself, she's got to be some kind of supervillain in the comics. She has to be. And then somebody refers to her as the Hangman in the show in this episode, and I immediately
Yeah,
googled the
that's an old villain. Yeah.
Yeah. I immediately googled the Hangman, and I'm like, there it is. Because I didn't ever really read the DC
Yeah.
graphic
And
novels or anything
the
like that.
kid too. The kid.
The Spanish kid?
Yeah, the driver.
Really? See,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh,
He
see,
grooms him.
they know what they're doing. Now, on the flip side, the Joker 2 is a fucking disaster.
It
Oh, it
is?
was bad.
Oh, bro.
I didn't see it.
First of all, it's a musical.
What?
Swear to God, the Joker
Right.
fucking tap dances in it, bro. It's a goddamn musical.
Well, Lady Gaga's in him.
Yeah. So from the little bit that I read on online, Todd Phillips did the first one, and it was excellent. He also has a great track record. He did The Hangover. So they basically Warner Brothers basically gave him carte blanche, like, do what you want. The last one, we made $1 billion on, literally $1 billion, and it cost them, I think, 60 million to make, and they made $1 billion worldwide on the last one, right? So they'll carte blanche, go ahead, do what you want. So from what I understand, I don't know how true this is. This is what I read online in several articles.
Did you see it?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Okay. Joaquin Phoenix apparently had a dream that the Joker 2 should be a musical, called Todd Phillips, and they basically said, we're going to do this. Now, the guys from DC, the people from DC, were trying to tell him not to do it, and he basically gave them the finger and said, fuck you, I'm doing I'm doing what I want to do. And it turned out to be a fucking disaster. And they made it a musical. The whole movie is about his trial from the first one. Okay. And then I don't did you and then I hate, spoiler alert, but the movie sucks. He dies at the end.
What?
I swear to God.
Oh.
How the fuck?
Yeah. Swear to God. At the end, he okay, so spoiler alert.
Don't tell him. Don't
Dude,
tell
the
me.
movie blows. You're not even gonna, after I tell you this,
I
you're not
want to
even
see it.
gonna
I
want
still want to see it. I still
Oh,
want to
it's
see it.
fucking all right. I won't tell, but basically he gets killed at the end, and then what happens is somebody's looking at a reflection, and you see him take the knife that he stabbed the Joker with and carve another Joker smile into his own
So he
face.
becomes the new one.
That's what it's supposed to be like, right? But dude, and the girl, it's so bad. It's so fucking bad. I can't even tell you. Like I wanted to leave. Like I didn't even want to finish watching it. I couldn't believe it. What I don't understand is, like, what part of the hardcore DC Comic-Con, because that's your base, right? That's your base fan base, right?
Yeah.
What part of that says a musical?
Well, was the music part, was that like in his head? Because he danced and did stuff in the first one.
No.
Remember he was on a talk show host, and he was on a talk show, and all that shit was going on in his head.
No. This was he just blatantly get out and dance and sing for no fucking reason. Just it's, bro, I can't tell you. It is they spent 300 million to make the movie, 200 on the movie and 100 on marketing. In the first weekend, they made 39 million in the States, and then it significantly dropped in the second weekend to number 3 in the box office. But there's no movies no movies. There's no competition. Some movie that came in second is like some Halloween scary fucking movie. They're saying that this is the most significant drop in box office in
I'm reading it now, dude. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's bad. Yeah,
it's fucking.
not good.
But the musical thing blows me away. It's like Luke. It's like Luke. If you want seafood, right?
I
And there's a
hate it.
big and there's a big sign outside that says seafood, and you walk in and you're like, "Oh, give me your best seafood dish," and they give you like ribs. You go, what the fuck is this?
They're calling it
Right?
a musical, dude.
It is a music. It's ridiculous.
The offbeat musical about Batman's notorious foe has grossed 55.5 million domestically and 165 globally after 2 weeks of release.
Whew.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fucking
they're saying
bad.
it's a disaster.
But
The box office disaster.
yeah, yeah, fucking horrible, bro. Fucking horrible. Just shit. Just trash.
Needs 450 million to break even. They're not
Yeah,
even near it.
yeah. Heads are gonna roll, son. Uh, but
Um, they
but
have 215. Not good.
yeah, yeah, no, not good at all. And and
Shit.
yeah, exactly. And if you watch the,
What a letdown.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? And honestly, I don't want to give it away because I know you want to watch it. But if you watch the movie, and as the movie goes on, you you could relate. It is relatable to a guy. How can I say this? Okay, how can I say this? Do you know when a woman falls in love with a guy who is like a badass? Like maybe he just fucking got out of jail and he's a badass. And
My
then
wife.
he what?
My wife with me.
Right, exactly. All right. Right. A woman falls in love with a guy who's like, uncertain, dramatic, you don't, he's the badass. And then after some time, after so many years, that guy becomes civilized. He's working, he's normal, he's calm, he's at home. And then the girl like doesn't like that guy anymore. She liked the fucking psycho. So either she divorces him or she screws around with him on with another guy or something like that, right? That's pretty much the storyline between the Joker and Harley Quinn, if that makes sense.
Wow.
You know,
But they
that's pretty
sing.
much.
But they sing and dance while
Yeah, except they sing and dance while they do it. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Dude,
I'm gonna
it's
stick with the
fucking
Penguin.
yeah. Oh, the Penguin is. I can't wait, bro. I can't wait till the next one.
I'll
It was
start
fucking
watching
Yeah.
great.
it. I'll
Fuck,
start watching
she was so good because this was her backstory. This episode, yo, she was so good, bro. That it was like the Penguin's only in a little bit of it, and the Penguin's good. I was not missing the Penguin watching this one. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't like when like you watch like the Batman with like Bane or Heath Ledger, and you're like, get to Bane, get to Bane, get to Bane. Nah, no. This one you wanted to see what unfolds here, and she plays a psychopath. It's fucking great, dude. You gotta watch it. Fucking great. Shit. Anyway, all right, gentlemen.
Do you know who plays her?
I don't know the girl's name. I'm
Christine
not.
Milioti.
Who's that?
She hold
What shows was she in?
on. She was in a sitcom, How I Met Your Mother, the girl from How I Met Your Mother.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You know what's great about these shows is that they put people in these shows that
She was only in for 2 seasons.
they put people in these shows that have the talent and that you would have never known had the talent unless you see these shows.
Yeah, they give them a shot, dude, and
Yeah,
sometimes they make it work.
yeah. Like I don't know if you guys ever saw the show Fargo. That's another good one, Luke. But the second season of Fargo has the girl that plays Spider-Man's Christian Stewart or Christian Dunst, which one of Spider-Man's girlfriend in the original Spider-Man?
Dunst.
Dunst. And in the second season of Fargo, she is in it, and she has a major role. She is phenomenal, phenomenal in the fucking show. She acted her ass off, and you would have never known it, right? You just think because you look at it, go, oh, Spider-Man's girlfriend. Nah, bro, she's fucking talented, But whatever, it is what it is. But yeah, dude, watch it. All right, we're gonna call it quits, gentlemen. It's almost 9:30.
Right.
Again, and please be back next week because I think we're gonna have the same lunatic cast as last time. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
I think we'll be back because apparently Lee Priest likes me a lot and he keeps texting me all the time like on WhatsApp, like we have like a relationship. Do you know he was on? You know what show he was on? He told me today. Nick DiPaolo. You know the comedian Nick DiPaolo. He has his own
Yeah.
podcast. He does a lot of
Yeah.
political stuff. He was on there. He was on. I don't know when it's coming out, but apparently he recorded an episode with Nick DiPaolo. But all right, fellas. Listen, we'll be in touch. Have a good night.
All
Hey,
right.
guys. Take care.
Later.